Hi guys, my name is Bunny, and I'm gonna start doing a little video thing, a little video blog type thing, um, mainly because I grew up as an only child, and so I did things alone, and I didn't have anybody to talk to about my ideas or my thoughts or things that happened, and besides my mom and sometimes my dad. And so I had lots of thoughts and ideas that I thought were specific to me. I thought I was the only person that had these thoughts and feelings and ideas, and no matter how crazy they were, I just thought it was me. I thought I was the only one. Well, at one point, I got a book, and it was about borderline personality disorder. I have borderline personality disorder. I have borderline personality disorder, and apparently major depression, and sometimes I get a little manic, even though my psychiatrist claims that I don't have bipolar. I think I can get pretty bipolar sometimes. And I also suffer from an unspecified eating disorder, which I'll go into another day. Anyway, so I've got like a little club of things going on in my head, little quirks, I'll call them. And anyway, I was reading this book about borderline personality disorder, and these thoughts that I had in my head that I believed were particular to me, that I thought I was the only person that had these thoughts. In that book, it was describing these people, and these people had those same exact thoughts that I had. I'm thinking, what? I never told anybody that I had those thoughts, and it was like almost like somebody had read my mind. And I thought, this is crazy that these thoughts that I've had, that I've kept secret, that I never told anybody, there's other people out there with these same thoughts as me. So I told a good friend of mine that was a co-worker at the time, I said, I'm reading this book, and there's all these other people that think the same thoughts that I've had, these thoughts that I've never told anybody. And she said to me, you think maybe there's enough people with those same thoughts that they even wrote a book about it? And I'm thinking, dang, yeah, why did I not think of that? And so, yeah. And what I have come to find is that a lot of times, many of us, basically most of us, go through life with thoughts or feelings or experiences, and we think that we're the only ones. We're the only ones that are going through that, or we're the only ones who've ever had that, or we're the only ones who've ever felt that. And it's not true. In a world with this many people in it, trust me, you're not the only one. And I have learned that there's some degree of comfort. There's some degree of comfort in commonality, in the commonality of knowing that somebody else has traveled this road. Somebody else has experienced the same exact things I've experienced. Somebody else knows exactly what I'm talking about when I tell them these, what I think are strange, unique feelings and thoughts that I have. There's other people out there who have felt and thought and had the same experiences, the same feelings, the same thoughts. And there's some comfort in that, knowing that, I'm not unique like I thought that I was. I'm not the only person who's had these things or thought these things or felt these things. There's other people out there. And it's the comfort for me is that when I talk to these people, they get me. They understand me. They know what I'm talking about. It's not like they look at me like I've got three eyes or like I'm speaking another language. It's like they know what I'm talking about. They get it. They understand it. And to me, that's important. So I want this place to be a place where people come and find commonality, where people come and can be with others who are like themselves. I've got friends who have different disorders, different problems. I think everybody's got problems. I think the difference is that that some people are actually really working on their problems, working on getting better, working on coping and becoming better human beings. Some people probably don't recognize that they even have things that they need to be working on or addressing, or maybe why they are the way they are. They just, I don't know. I don't know if they just get through the day thinking that's just the way that life is, or if they even struggle. I don't know. And then I know there's a group of people who just ignore it. They just flat out ignore that, and they think that they're not the problem. The world is the problem, or other people are the problem, or whatever. And so I'm of the group that I've spent the last few years working on recovery, working on my emotional health, working on my mental health, working on living a peaceful life, and maintaining some balance, some emotional balance, and giving my mind a rest, and basically enjoying life and not making it such a struggle. So I hope that you'll watch this. I hope that you'll find some of the things may apply to you. Maybe some of the things don't. I mean, maybe everything does. I don't know. Maybe you've got the same exact sort of things that I do. I don't know. There probably are some people who have the exact same sort of things that I do. And there's going to be some of you who don't. But I hope that you feel uplifted. I hope that you feel relaxed. I hope that you feel commonality when you listen to my talks. And I'm going to be turning 55 tomorrow. 55 years old I've been on this planet. And I've realized that you don't live a half of a century with mental disorders without having a lot of crazy stories to tell. So I'm hoping to share some of my crazy stories with you. I want to share some of my friends with you. And if you've got some topics that you'd like me to address, I'd like to do that. I've got one particular friend who always wants to interview me. She always wants to interview me, and I've been trying to get in touch with her. I'm hoping that she will interview me for you guys, because that's what she wants to do, and maybe you all would find that a little interesting too. Anyway, welcome. I haven't even picked out a name yet for the show. I know that I said my name's Bunny, and that's not my legal name. That goes back to a time when my life had fallen apart, and I wanted to restart. I wanted to push a reset button and reinvent myself, reinvent my life, have a redo, a do-over, like we used to say when we were kids, a do-over. And so I chose that name. My mom wasn't too happy about that. She liked the name she gave me. And I chose a name, and I went to a different church and chose a new set of friends, and I basically did. I got a new job, and basically did start over from scratch with a new life. So don't ever think that you can't that you can't start over. Any day of the week is a good day to start over. And you can't change. I've realized you can't change 1 minute of the past. You can't change. You can't unring the bell. You just can't change any of it. You can't undo the wrongs. You can't unhurt the pain. You just can't. And sometimes I make it a little emotional. I'm easy to cry. Sometimes things touch me deeply, and I get a little emotional sometimes. So if tears bother you, then this may not be great for you, but I'm always going to be honest with you, and sometimes it'll be a little emotional. But what I was saying was, you can't go back and change things. You can't change the past. But there is never a moment in your life that you can't stop and hit a reset button and change the coming events. you can change that. You can change the direction you're headed. You can change where you're going, and you can change. You can change the outcome based on your actions toward the future. I think Dolly Parton has a saying. What is her saying about if you don't like where you are, go somewhere else. You're not a tree, or something like that. I don't know, but it's true. It's true. You can't change the past, and we've all had pain in our lives. All of us. All of us. Nobody gets out of this life. Nobody gets out of this life without having some pain. I don't care who you are. If you live in this life, you're going to experience some pain. And so we've all had pain. We've all had different types of pain, different degrees of pain, but we've all had pain. And you can't fix that. You can't change it. You can't erase it. You can try to ignore it. But it's been my experience that if you try to shove that stuff down and ignore it, it'll eventually have its day in court. It'll eventually come back one way or another. It comes out, and you have to deal with it. One day you have to deal with it. And when it does, then you dust yourself off, pick yourself back up, and you just go on again, making the best you can from that day forward. And you may have to restart, I don't know, maybe 365 times a year. Maybe. Maybe not. But anyway, you can do this, because if you've gotten to this point, then I would say that your success rate of getting through tough times is probably 100%. You must be a survivor. And so I hope you enjoy this. I hope you come back, and I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope we spend a lot of time together. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye.